hello, and welcome to the Commentary Zone. I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. Thanks to all the moms out there who do their best every day. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, tell a friend. On the docket today, we have the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 2, All Aboard the Gaslight Express. Jamal.
Yes. I can't with this because here's the thing. I'm not going y'all Bravo, y'all not gonna get me this season. You're not going to get me this season. I refuse because the first two episodes I enjoyed, I'm not gonna lie. There were some really funny moments. I couldn't, but y'all not gonna get me this season. I refuse. It's just not gonna happen. I see you, Bravo.
Wait,
I see
you
you.
enjoyed this episode?
I like the girls. I like the camaraderie. I like they're laughing more. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this through the whole season. So I probably need to put it on repeat. I don't like Ralph.
Okay. I might be in the minority here. Okay. How dare they give me filler for the second episode of the season? Or is it because I'm not gelling with Drew and that person that lives in her home that spies on her
That's
with
what it is,
cameras?
dude. Like I thought it was just me a little bit, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick with my opinion. We could just cut them out.
Let me tell you.
You could cut them out real quick. You can cut them out and give me more of Sonya and her mama.
No, hold on. Let me tell you. When this episode started, right? And we was in Sonya's house and they was fighting over the beef patties, that resonated so much with me.
I thought about you.
Because when things come from home, when you're an immigrant and when things come from home, and with us, like for my mom and them and my older cousins, it's the flying fish that we fight over. But for me, it's the black cake. I hoard the black cake. I will cut a bitch for black cake if it comes from home. I could buy black cake here, yes. But if it comes from home, it just tastes better. So you do fight over things that people bring back. And that shows an appreciation for somebody, one, thinking of you, and two, taking the time with limited luggage space to bring things back.
I mean, we like 1 year, kid you not, like my grandmother went to Maryland and she brought the real crab cakes. The real crab cakes. And she sent some back. Like she sent two packages. The first package she just sent them to try them out. We're like, okay. They were hella good. And then we're like, oh, she's like, we let her know, like, hey, can you send more? So she brought back more, and they were rationed out, and we got like 4 apiece, if I recall correctly. And my mom ate one of my crab cakes. And I felt some kind of way about that.
You do.
Like, Mom, like, where's my crab cake? She's like, oh, I thought that was mine. I'm like, no, you ate all of yours. That was mine. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, I need another one. Like, I was real upset.
Right, and that's your mom. That's like you get those feelings.
Yeah, you do. I totally.
You know.
I can only imagine, like, if you're an immigrant coming from home, like, you probably don't get it that often, like, the good, because you probably don't go back that often. So I can understand. I'm like, I thought about Debbie when they were talking about it, and when their Jamaican accents read that, you could just tell they was really upset that the accent really came like, ooh, you real mad, because your accent's real to the motherland. You was real mad about the beef, beef patties.
And I've had a half dozen beef patties from Jamaica. I had an assistant many years ago. And she gave me a part of her hoard that a family of hers brought back for her. And I was like, oh, you can't do this. These are like, no.
Right.
I wound up taking 3. I kicked myself because I should have took all 6, you know. But like, you cherish things like that, especially food in the Caribbean. Hello. Let somebody bring me a piece of black cake now.
Right? We ain't getting none of it. Can I have a
But they
taste?
sucker punched me though, because I was all excited about this feeling of connection,
Mm-hmm.
and then the rest of the episode went downhill.
Like I said, they could have cut Ralph and Drew and give me more of Sonya's family, and I've been just happy. They could give me more Sonya. They could give me more anybody but Drew and Ralph. Anybody. Anybody. They could have gave Sheree's ex-assistant being messy. You know what? I'd rather see Drew's and Sheree's ex-assistant than seeing them on the screen.
Oh wow, I don't want to see him neither.
I'm comparing the two. I'd rather
But
see him.
here's the thing. Watching this is just my opinion, but I truly feel like Bravo wants to sink the Atlanta franchise. And I think they're doing it on purpose. I have no reason why they would do this, because this is the franchise that gave y'all foundation in this. A lot of people like to credit OC, but Nene was the one who did the first reunion. Like, she begged for that, and that's how we got reunions. She's probably the reason why there's a Watch What Happens Live, and she's definitely a big reason why Andy is a household name and not just, some person in production at Bravo. Like, I don't know. It's like they have an open vendetta against Atlanta. And I feel like they're purposely doing this to make us not want to watch. And it's frightening to me. That's just my opinion, because how dare they give filler for episode 2?
I'm looking into something because I want to see, because this production to me so far is better than the production last season, and it's only been 2 episodes.
The production is better, but last season it was like in Panorama.
Right, but it was
kind of boring.
But I'm just looking at the quality of the quality of the scenes is much better. It's sharper, it's crisper. So I'm trying to see. I see the production team for this season. That's good, but I can't find the production team for last. I'm just curious because the quality is much better.
But couldn't that be the contribution from the consultants from Potomac, their production company?
So it has to be a different production company, or this is a collab. This is a very good collab. It's just, I get what you're saying. This was filler, but I don't mind this filler because we're getting to know Marlo on a deeper level. It was nice seeing with her nephew, and we're getting getting to know Sonya. I think the issue with this cast, and it's not like I dislike Drew. I just dislike Drew with her husband, because like I said before, I don't find women being degraded by their husbands entertaining, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it in real life. I don't want to see it on my TV screen.
But I have a problem with Drew for staying.
I mean, I get that.
Because she's allowing every week for this tomfoolery to take place.
Right. And what they did with that gaslighting thing, I'm sorry, I laughed. Because she's like, people say he gaslights me. I don't think so. What is gaslight? I think they asked her, do you know what gaslight means? And she looked it up.
Oh my God. I have a clip of that. Like, of when she was reading it. It's just dumb. I'm so over her.
And she's like,
oh my God.
She's like, he just puts me on tumble dry. I'm like, don't say that. Don't say that.
Look at that. That's when she was reading. That's when she was reading Maniac. I didn't get the clip of when she was reading Gaslighting because it was just so embarrassing.
Right. And I'm going to go back to when she said, he just puts me on tumble dry. It gets me all confused. I'm like, how come did you not to say this on international TV? Don't do that. You're better than that. You deserve better than that.
I don't
So
know.
so for me, it's just they just bring me down.
Oh, Kelly, black cake. It's not chocolate cake. It's where there's raisins, currants, sultanas, dried cherries, all soaked in rum, and it's made into a very dense cake, and it has like lots of rum in it. And there's a special way in which you soak the cake after you bake it with the rum because you can't oversaturate it. But basically, yeah, black cake can survive through the apocalypse because there's so much alcohol in it. And
Mm.
family of mine, it's usually baked around Christmas time. And a lot of people like soak their fruits for months or even like for the whole year, and then put that into the cake, and then you soak the cake after it's baked. um
Oh.
yeah, it's lovely. It's dense, it's rich, and if you eat too much you might poop because of all the fruit in it.
Right.
But that's what it is.
So let's
um
go. I think
mhm,
like let's go through the highlights of
yeah,
the lights of. I won't say highlights. We'll go through the lights of the show of the
the
episode.
lights.
The
Well,
lights.
I'm done. The beef patties.
Right. Okay.
Done.
So what? So like for me, I'm gonna one of the points we already touched on the
Mm-hmm.
Drew and her husband. Like to finish them off, let's go with the scene at the end where he's trying to do something quote unquote nice for her. I'm like, well, no, sir, you're not. It's performative. That's all it is. You're trying to appease
Uh-huh.
her. Sometimes you're trying to treat her like a queen and quit talking to her crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Get off my damn screen. I'm annoyed. And
Yeah.
her boohooing and blowing snot again. I'm not trying to see that. Again, I'm not trying to see you cry because you allow him to do these things.
It, it was just an awkward scene.
And Black Lavender sums it up perfectly. If Drew keeps on putting up with his foolishness, he will keep on doing it.
Mm-hmm. Look at this. Like, who wants this? Who wants to see a woman in this situation?
I don't.
And my biggest irritation in this particular scene, the dinner scene, why the hell they was eating out of cake pans?
And why are you at your friend's barbershop on
What?
the roof?
Not a barbershop. It was a tailor.
A
Even
tailor.
worse. Who was gonna let all of those food smells into his clothes? Because you notice all the food came from inside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, I just wanted to know why they were eating out of cake tins. And why didn't they remove the unused glassware to make room for them to eat?
Right. And then I want to skip from there. I'm gonna go. I
Mm.
think before that, I want to talk to. I like the man on the show because he was trying to sit down and explain, like, I'm a man, yeah, yeah, and like Todd, I think it was Todd. He's like, okay, I call bullshit, but we'll go with it.
Todd. Shout out to Todd for being 48 and looking so good. Shout out to Candy for giving him that glow up. But I also thank you, Todd, for bringing up getting a colonoscopy.
Mm-hmm.
Good on that.
But by
But
like talking about Todd, like when he said like I'll call bullshit, but we'll go with it. I was like, Todd, thank you, thank you. Someone call him out and not let him deal with that bullshit.
you know why? Because the men are not there to cause the drama. The women are.
Mm-hmm.
But he sees it for what it is because he's probably done it before.
Right. But you see
Mm-hmm.
how he tried to shut that down, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't do this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't do this because, like, we trying to keep our strip club jaunts, a thing on the show. We don't need you coming here messing us up.
Yeah, because what was the first thing he said? Yeah, my wife was telling me about this assistant thing. And yeah, it's got to stop. And then
Right.
Ross backed him
Ross.
up. He was like,
Right.
my wife told me to. Yeah, dude.
Right. They're like, we got a good thing going on this show. We get to go to the strip clubs and nobody say nothing. We good. We
Yeah,
cool.
but Ross can't afford to put his foot wrong because her parents up in the house.
Right. And the sister.
I'd worry about the parents.
And, hey, parents first, sister second.
Mhm.
So I like to shut that down. But what did you think? Because that was the best part of the scene when they're like, shut that down. What did you think about him having him and Candy that conversation about the New Jersey place? And Candy was like, my name not on it. And he's like, well, my name not on it. Is. I'm like, well, Candy, he has a point. He has
Oh,
a
when he
point.
made a comment about the bed.
Was it the
When he
bed?
said, yeah, she's like, I'm not going up in no house that you had your ex up in. And he was like, I'm sure that you had plenty of people and didn't turn the mattress.
Matches though.
You know
Oh,
what? We might have shaded their love connection in the past, but I think they're a perfect fit. And they have settled into marriage
right.
quite nicely.
I like them as a couple. I like that Candy's about business, Todd is about like business and having fun. They're just a good
Mm-hmm.
match because they both understand like they understand the opportunity that they're in, and
Mm-hmm.
that's to get the bag, and that's all their focus is, and they make no bones about that. Like
Mm-hmm.
Todd's starting like 3 or 4 businesses every year. Candy's doing like 3 or 4 plays and starting businesses and acting. I mean, this is what I want to see on my TV screen. I want to see
Yeah.
this type of situation. Does Candy get in the mess not voluntarily, but when she's pulled into it, she will engage. I do
Mm-hmm.
like that about her, and I'm gonna be like I'm looking at the cast as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked Candy, but I just kind of felt like she had her niche into the show.
Mm-hmm.
But now without Portia and Nene, I think she understands her role has changed. She now understands that she's going to have to really engage this season. She doesn't have a choice at this point.
But she's always had a pivotal role. It's
Right,
just she's brought all of the gossip from, she's well connected because you
right,
saw what she did. Okay. Drew tells her the mess about the assistant talking about Sheree
Sheree,
and the non-payment issue, right?
right,
Who does she do? What does she do? She tells Drew, you have to go and talk to Sheree about that.
right,
But then she tells Kenya
right.
and sends Kenya over to Sheree. She's producing this. Come on, Bravo, cut
but
her another check.
But what I'm saying is Candy understands that where she could get away with kind of being in the not so much in the foreground without
Mm-hmm.
the others there. She kind of understands she's gonna be she understands she's gonna be in the front more. Yeah, Kenya's there for the drama. Like we need Kenya. We like us some Kenya, but Candy has to take a more what I say active role. Like versus pulling the strings a little bit. Like she let's be honest. When she had Nene, Kenya, Phaedra, she kind of could sit back a little bit. With this
Yeah.
cast, she can't afford to sit back.
Well, I love that. Wasn't she the one to bring up the gossip regarding Portia's baby daddy with the,
I,
the the cheating and the animals and
is that Candy?
yes, because she knew a couple of his exes because she was the one who said, well, he give a Rolex to every girlfriend.
Yeah. Okay. True.
She has the gossip.
Right. But I'm just saying she has to be. She's more of a face, and she has to be more present, more. What she does is gonna be more pronounced, basically.
You want her to
Like
be more interactive
she's gonna be
in the
much more.
mess.
She's gonna be much more interactive. And you could see that. I'm like, ooh, you giving this bone carrier realness. Okay, I'm not mad at you. I see you, Candy. But this is how producer Candy works. She understands the assignment better than
Mm-hmm.
anyone else. Like
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
Kenya, like I said, when it was Kenya and Portia, she knew her role. She realized she didn't have to do too much. But
Mm-hmm.
now with these newbies, she's gonna have to like kind of be way more active. So
Mm-hmm.
she understands the assignment. I enjoy her and Todd scene because they're an actual real couple. Like when I put them
Mm-hmm.
against Drew and Ralph, I'm like, are y'all real?
No.
It's just a start. It's just a stark difference. Even if you put Sanya and Ross next to Drew and Ralph, you could. It just makes Drew and Ralph's disconnect even more apparent.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You just see that you're like, oof, this ain't good. And this is
No.
no, I'm not feeling this at all.
Oh, but
Not at all.
one final thing with Candy. Kudos to her for making history on Broadway with that all black production that
Mm-hmm.
she is a co-producer in.
Right.
Love it. Love it. And okay, wait, I lie. I had two good parts of this show. One was the beef patty, first and foremost. But then when it seems like Marlo's going to be going around and asking everybody for parenting advice this season. So
Mm-hmm.
when she's talking with Candy, and there was some messiness there, but when Marlo said, am I spoiling them? I'm giving him a $1,200 suit. And Candy said, why do we always have to like be portrayed as struggling? If you have it, why not? It doesn't mean that you can't teach your kids how hard it is to earn the $1,200,
Mm-hmm.
but other kids show up in Mercedes Benz and $1,200 suits. Why can't yours?
That was an excellent point. Thank you for bringing that up. That was the other
Mhm.
point I really liked about that. And I like their friendship. I You can tell like they fight more like family a little bit, like the cousins that you
Mhm.
see at like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Y'all love each other, but y'all always like each other. They give me that kind of vibe because you could see what Marlo says, like, it kind of like hurts me that you don't invite me to do anything. I'm like, oh,
Right,
okay.
but Candy countered and said,
Mhm.
"Listen, I know you from back in the day, pre-show when you was dating my god brother, cousin, something, some family of hers." And then she said they were good. And then Marlo got on the show, and all of a sudden,
Mhm.
eh. And she just doesn't know where she stands with Marlo.
But she also said you have to be the kind of friend you want to attract. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
another good point. Mm.
Because Marlo was very quick to say, "You don't ever invite me over here." And she's like, "Well, you don't invite me to your place."
Right. And she Mark's like, you're always welcome. It's just like that just lets us know like y'all are friends from back. Like that
Mm-hmm.
comment right there, like because you're not gonna tell somebody you've only known like a couple years and who you have had issues with, like, oh, you welcome to my house anytime. And I like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that they've been friends a long time pre-show.
But you see, this is why Marlo gets nowhere with anyone. Marlo went to the candy factory, and outside she was saying something about ghetto or hood or some shit like that. That's why you can't get any farther than where you're at, Marlo.
Mhm.
It's one thing to have shady comments, right? But you
Right.
make a comment like that and then go inside and you're asking to get closer with this woman, supposedly, as mentorship as a mom. And you don't think she's going to see this in the when it's aired? Like, it's just little things like that irk me with Marlo. She has to make at least one alliance on here, and I feel she's not doing that.
No, I got you. I think she'll soften a little bit. I think she just needs to understand and be receptive to feedback. That's all it really is, in my opinion.
Oh, hello, Larja. Welcome, welcome. Love you too. I don't know. She's got a ways to go for me.
She
I
does.
think
She
I think
will.
I appreciated this as a friend, but now you are a full-time peach.
Hmm.
I'm gonna need you to form some sort, at least one friendship. One. And it has to last more than one season.
Right.
Just saying.
Like you have to, like, you don't have Nini or Cynthia, the Lena. Now you have
Mm-hmm.
to actually forge friendships, whereas before she was in and out, so it really didn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what else happened on here? Oh, Todd and Candy trying to redo their pool room.
That was hilarious. That guest room, that guest house, and that pool. That was hot. I hollered. And she's like, "Well, I have a tendency not to finish things." I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh,
I
I love
laughed.
it. I
I
love it.
laughed.
Um, Candy looked cute when she was doing her photo shoot as the witch.
Yeah,
Remember?
hmm
Yeah, like that. I thought she looked like she does a lot of stuff. Like who does promotion for Halloween? But then again, I don't know. I don't know. All right, so what else is happening here? Oh, Candy addresses the issue with regards to Marlo's gala, right? And I like Candy just making herself clear, saying, "Look, you know me. I'm just wondering, like, what's the breakdown of like return on investment? How you making your money?" I've always asked
hmm
those questions to everybody, um, and she was like, we're just talking about it, and Marlo's like, they still want to know how I earn my money. Just tell them that I work at Magic City on Mondays doing
That
private
was
dances
hilarious.
as Ginger, and Uncle Sam gets his cut. Who is she saying now that doesn't pay their taxes?
I had
Because
no
to
clue, but it was
me,
hilarious.
she was throwing shade with that. Oh my God. What else happened during this episode? I just caught this in this episode. Marlo has a husband and wife team as her managers. Why does
Yeah.
Marlo need a manager?
Hey, she's. Hey, someone's gotta like handle her business on a day to day.
Okay. Well, I thought it was cute that she was getting her oldest nephew. This one is Michael or William?
I think this is Michael.
This is
Is the one.
Michael.
I'm pretty sure it's Michael.
Yeah, he was getting ready for his homecoming dance, and we find out that from Marlo that her parents were on drugs, and the foster care system was a safe haven for her. Um, Her mom also used to beat her as well, and she wants to be that safe haven for her nephews, and I can appreciate her for that. I really,
hmm
really can. It's a different side of Marlo, one that that I'm getting to know and like. I can't believe she's had these kids for 3 years already.
Right. She said three. I'm like three. Yeah, it's three.
Okay, I was watching another review of this show, and they zoomed in on the stairs. Why she got a chairlift rail on her stairs?
I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her.
Who needed to use a chair lift?
No clue.
Interesting. Mm-mm-mm. And then after that, okay, let me ask you a question. All right, so for Drew's dinner, Ralph organized the dress, the hair and makeup and all that, or was that Drew picking that out?
The way. Okay. Here. Okay. I'll put it this way: the way they made it seem. This is how they wanted us. This is how they wanted us to see it. They wanted us to see that he picked out everything for her, but in reality, we know she picked that mess out.
Either way, that dress was way too short, and I would have never paired stripper shoes with that dress.
So there's a chance he did pick that out.
It didn't. It. Uh-uh. Because
But
when
you
she
put
was
it.
walking up the entry stairs,
hmm
basically,
Right. But when you put it into that context, I can go with that he picked that out. Because I can't see Drew picking that now. Yeah, you're right.
and
She wouldn't
it
pick. She
is
wouldn't pick something like
another
that.
reason why I hated him.
If you look at Drew, she dresses sexy, but she's more modest. So that's not something she would really pick for herself. I'm gonna go with that. He's an idiot.
Their scenes ruined this episode for me, and I know it's my own bias. I don't like him, and I don't like her for showing this on TV with him. If it's for real, God bless you, girl. If you have concocted this, I truly do not like you.
Right.
Hey, Yanni. I don't know. This was it. I didn't have much to say about this episode. It was kind of.
I mean, I liked it. Like I said, I'll keep saying it. Cut him out of the show, and we'd be good.
Honestly, they lost me after beef patties.
I mean, y'all could really kind of like Mass Australia, give us a save, and like mid-season you bring on Apollo and his fiance.
Well, he does come, right? To guide, to give advice to Sheree about her love after lockup situation.
Right, but I'm just saying, we could bring the fiance too as a friend of the show. She could be a friend of Sheree, and we could phase. I
didn't like her on Say Yes to the Dress, though.
I know, but anything to get Ralph off my screen. I'll take anything at this point.
I don't know. This episode made me really think that they are trying to sabotage and get rid of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
It looks that way, but the production is better, so I'm gonna hold out hope on this one just for a little bit.
The production is better because it reminds me of Potomac.
Right, but I'm like, they're trying. Like, to me, that gives me hope that they're trying to move this show in the right direction. And I'm just gonna put this out there.
Mm-hmm.
Candy, Kenya, y'all may not like her, but Phaedra. Who else? I'm gonna say those three. You three need to come together and take over production of Atlanta, and those three partnering with the Potomac people to produce this show.
But do you think that with Phaedra going on Ultimate Girls Trip, the exes, is the segue for her to come back to Atlanta while sending Candy off to Candy in the Game?
It could be, or who's to say Candy and Phaedra haven't been talking behind the scenes? Like, you just never know with time. I mean, I get it, but you just never know about these things. So
I don't know. That was a hard blow because they were real friends.
Right.
And then Candy is very protective of her mom and her business because the business supports the mom.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. Would I like to see them reconcile or at least try to hash things out?
Right.
Yes. Is that going to happen?
Probably not. But I'm just saying that could be a segue. But it could be a segue for her to either come back to the show and ship Candy off, or her just come back on the show and we see the Candy Phaedra reconciliation on the show. One of the two.
One last thing. It just occurred to me. We finally got to see Chateau Sheree. Hey, even the basement, lovely. And we got that glimpse with Kenya and Sheree, and we saw Mama Thelma. Hey, the owner of the home.
Chateau Thelma, but okay.
They went down to the basement, which is now finished. It's a lounge. It's a hair, makeup, beauty, massage area, bar. All of this. It's beautiful with tall ceilings, even in the basement. Kenya even gave her a compliment.
Right.
And Sheree said that she actually likes this new Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the only episode we're going to see this in? It was kind of a shock to the system.
Right?
So much so that I almost forgot about it. But it was quite interesting. I kind of like to see these two being messy together.
Right.
Oh,
They're fun. They're fun. I like them.
and when Sheree looped in Sonya to back her up, and when
Right.
she said the Bosley hair implants, and poor Sonya did that pratfall on the phone, I thought it was really cute. I thought it was slapstick. I thought it was funny.
I like this. This group of ladies is a good group of ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna stand by this. After this season, if Drew doesn't do better, she can go and bring in two different wives, two new wives. I like Seven. I've always liked Seven
Mm-hmm.
because the other five ladies already I like their dynamic. It before we go, I have a question for you. So far, just these two episodes,
Mm-hmm.
does it seem like the five women mesh, talking about Sheree, Candy, Kenya, Sonya, and Marlo? It seems like they mesh well, and it still seems like Drew was just added in at the last minute.
She doesn't work with this
It doesn't
group
work,
of
right?
gals. She didn't work last year, and
Mm-hmm.
she's not working this year. And I think that it is because there's like a lot of people don't believe what's going on with her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been caught in a couple of lies,
Mm-hmm.
and then the disrespect in her marriage. Like, a lot of people are having a lot of problems. Let me not say a lot of people. I'm having a lot of problems watching her. Her
Right.
gelling with these women is the least of her problems.
Right. But then but then I have to realize, Cynthia brought her on the show as her friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, supposedly Drew and Sonya are friends, and Drew brought her on the show. Like Candy knew Sonya as well before, so that gives Sonya an easier in. It seems like Drew really has no genuine friends on this show, which makes her stick out even more. And then you combine that with the marital issues at home, that kind of separates her even more.
But that's all her fault because last season
No,
she put all her eggs in the Portia basket and then Portia
right,
left her.
right, true,
Bad strategy on her part as a housewife.
right. And then the way now you put it in those perspectives, in those terms, the way Kenya treats her is fair. Because remember the first episode, Drew pulled her aside like, "Hey, I just felt like we went wrong at every turn. This, and that." I'm like, "Well, would you side with someone's mortal enemy? Yeah, they're not gonna embrace you moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
because you're only trying to gravitate to her because your friend is gone.
Yep. You have no allies. You're on an island all by yourself. Wow.
That's why you don't do that. When you're new, you come in, you get to know everyone on your own terms.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, good or
Mm-hmm.
bad, on your own terms. And then you make a decision. And then even if you don't like someone, you still keep it cordial to where you can be around each other and have a good time. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, this is your job, and these are your coworkers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so she, like you said, she played her hand very, very, like, put all your eggs in one basket. Never do that, especially your first season.
I know this is reality and no one is really genuine, but I don't digest what True serves up. I really don't. I can't.
Nah, I'm with you.
So we need a recast.
Of course we do.
So that was it, y'all. That was the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 2. All aboard the Gaslight Express. I'm off on this stop. The beef patty stop. I got off.
Right. I mean, this has been okay, but I'm like, I
You
like
can't do a
I
filler
have,
episode on episode
yeah.
2.
I mean, I have hope because the production is better, but I'm just like, I'm gonna be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
Beverly Hills opening episode gave me more than the Real Housewives of Atlanta first 2 episodes.
I'm going to reserve comment. I'm just not happy. I'm okay. Never mind.
Well, yeah, I mean Atlanta like is an improvement over last season based on what we got. Yes, but I'm just and I'll be honest again. I'm gonna harp on this probably the whole season or for however long we review this show. But Drew and Ralph just bring this show down for me. Honestly, they brought it down for me last episode. They brought it down for me this episode.
Especially this episode, because the majority of the episode was about them.
Right.
I don't want to see that.
Me neither. So that's just where I'm at. I mean, 2 episodes in, I'm just like, meh.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll get with it. Like, this is the last, not the last, but I don't want any more Drew Ralph centric episodes. I can't. I don't have any medicine to help me with that. I don't have enough liquor in this house to help me with that.
I'm gonna see, how many episodes is this supposed to be?
You mean this season?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Maybe 12?
I'm just trying to see, like,
I can't wait till we go to Jamaica on their trip.
Yeah, they're not they're not telling us how many episodes it's supposed to. I can't find how many episodes.
They're gonna drag this out.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you can't see, they're gonna drag this out. Because this was one of their big ad revenue producers.
Because last season was 21.
Oh my God. And all we had last season was Bolo.
Like, I mean, they stretched Bolo out like nobody's business.
Oops. Sorry, y'all.
I mean, we'll just have to run with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, come back with us at the top of the hour, where we'll do the premiere episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yep.
And I'll try to give it my all.
Right.
All right, Jamal, do you have any final thoughts on episode 2 of Real Housewives of Atlanta?
No, we're good to go.
All right. So until next time.
Of course.
Bye.